welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. Also, hit that post notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. Also, do yourself a favor. Get down in the description box. Check out those first two links. The first one is that Moo link. They're going to give you up to $1,000 in NVIDIA stock when you open up a new Moo brokerage account and you make a deposit. So check that Moo brokerage account offer out today. Also, the Wealth Builders Financial Community on Patreon. Come check us out, man. Second link down in the description box. Couple thousand people in that financial community, and all we do is help each other get to financial freedom. And we talk about things like this 50-year mortgage thing that Trump is talking about. Building wealth, guys. If you want a community of people going in the same direction as you, which is building wealth, getting a passive income, then come check out the Wealth Builders. Second link down in the description box. We'd love for you to come join our team. All right, let's dive into this 50-year mortgage President Trump has started talking about, and he'd like to implement it. The problem is you can't implement it right now because there's no such thing as a 50-year mortgage. There's a such thing as a 30-year mortgage, but in order to get a 50-year mortgage, you got to get all that stuff approved. Now, of course, President Trump doesn't worry about approvals. He'll get it approved because he controls the Congress, he controls the White House, and he controls the Supreme Court. So he'll get it approved if that's what he wants to do. But here's the question. Is a 50-year mortgage in your best interest? Now, I get it. He's trying to get this thing, done because he wants more people to be able to buy homes. He wants to be able to lower the monthly payment. And of course, the more you stretch a loan out over the years, 30-year, 40-year, 50-year loan, the longer you stretch it out, you do tend to decrease the monthly payment. But you just don't decrease the monthly payment, you also increase the interest rate. Because the longer a lender allows you to go out with a loan, the more risk falls on the lender's shoulders. So if the lender has to take on more risk, guess what they do? They price that into the interest rate. So I get where he's coming from, but there's a lot of detractors. But let's talk about the main thing. Here's the main thing. How a 50-year mortgage would change your payments. That's the main thing for people, right? If someone's out there and they want to buy a home and they want to get into their own home, but they can't currently afford that home or the mortgage payment based on a 30-year fixed mortgage, then they may want to go out 40 years or 50 years. The question is, how much will it reduce your monthly payment from a 30-year mortgage to a 50-year mortgage? What are your pros and cons? Let's talk about that. Significantly, average mortgage rates on 50-year loans would undoubtedly be higher than on 30-year loans. The same way 30-year rates are higher than those on 15-year mortgages. We just talked about that. Risk to the lender because they're giving you a longer term. That means it takes longer for them to get their principal back, guys. See, when a lender gives you a loan for 15 years, the lender gets their money back, hopefully in 15 years. But if they give you 30 or if they give you 50, now they may not get all their money back for 50 years. They're going to charge you more of an interest rate or a premium to let you have that money out there for 50 years. So that's a con. That's a bad thing, right? That's a bad thing for the lender. Might not be a bad thing for you, but it's a bad thing for the lender. I would even say it's a bad thing for you too, and we'll talk about that in a second. But let's keep going. The longer the life of the loan, the more compensation the lender will demand. I just told you that, right? I've been in the bank. I was in the banking business for 25 years. When we give somebody a loan for 5 years, our interest rate is lower than if we had to give that same loan to them for 10 years. And that's why the bank takes on more risk the longer they let you have that loan, right? The longer the term. Last week, rates on 15-year mortgages averaged 5.5% compared with 6.22% for 30-year home loans. This is according to Freddie Mac. It's unclear how much higher 50-year rates would be, as there are currently no conventional mortgages of that length for comparison. It don't even exist. President Trump is asking for something right now that doesn't exist. But like I told you earlier, that won't stop him. He'll get it done if he wants to get it done, because like I said, he controls the whole government. He controls Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, Ginnie Mae. He already got this guy, this Pote guy who's heading up, I want to say he's heading up some part of the government that is involved with housing. He's heading that whole thing up. So if he wants to get it done now, he will get it done. The question is it the right thing for you? And that's what you got to determine, right? You got to determine if it's the right thing for you. You already know, based on the information we discussed, your interest rate will go up. If a 30-year interest rate right now is 6.22, what do you think a 50-year interest rate going to be? Guys, it could be over 8%. You'll never pay that loan back. You'll be upside down in that house for the next 40 years. You see where I'm going with this? But let's keep moving. Let's save my commentary for the end. Let's keep moving. Assuming, for sake of argument, that mortgage rates were equal across both products, a 50-year mortgage would lower mortgage payments by about $250 per month on a $400,000 home, assuming 10% down and a 6.25% mortgage rate. Now, they're assuming that you'll get a 6.25% mortgage rate for a 30-year loan and a 50-year loan. But we've already talked about that. You're not going to get the same interest rate. The bank is not going to take on more risk by giving you 20 more years on their loan to get their money back and not compensate themselves through the interest rate. That's not going to happen. But for this purposes, let's assume the bank is feeling generous. And the bank says, okay, we'll give you the 50-year loan at the same rate as the 30-year loan. What this illustration is telling you is if you did that, you took out a 50-year loan on $400,000. You took out a 30-year loan on $400,000. Since you got an additional 20 years for your loan term, then your payment would come down about $250 a month, or what's that? $3,000 per year. But they're not telling you here's what's going to get you, though, is the interest you're going to pay on this thing. Listen to this, guys. Total interest payments over the life of a 50-year loan would amount to $816,396 compared to $438,156 on a 30-year loan, a difference of $378,240. That amounts to 86% more interest. Come on, guys. Are you kidding me? A $400,000 loan on a 50-year amortization at 6.25% interest. you are going to pay $816,000, guys, in interest over the 50 years. That's insane. I mean, you see where I'm going with this? Guys, you will have negative equity from day one. You go take a 50-year mortgage, 10% down, $400,000. You're gonna be negative in that thing for at least 40 years. How is that building wealth? We already know in America, a person's most valuable asset is their home. But if you're upside down in the home and you owe more than what it's worth, that's not an asset. Well, I guess that's a liability. It's a liability. It's not an asset. I mean, it's not an asset, guys, if you owe more than what it's worth, or what you owe more than the value of the home. It's not an asset. It's a liability. So, do you think he really sat down and thought this through? See, this is why I keep telling y'all, these people who he got in positions underneath him, these sycophants, they really need to sit down and have a conversation. I mean, this is just not a good idea. Let me save my commentary to the end. So we already know you're going to pay way more interest on a 50-year loan than you will a 30-year loan. We've established that. Let's move on. Total interest payments over the life of a 50-year loan would amount to, like I told you, $816,000. That's the total interest, guys, on a $400,000 loan, guys. This is not some $4 million loan. This is a $400,000 house. $400,000 loan. Okay, you put 10% down, you get a $360,000 mortgage. You're going to pay on that $360,000 mortgage over the life of it for 50 years. You're going to pay $816,000 on a $360,000 mortgage. That's insane. I don't know if he thought this one through. But let's move on. Buyers do benefit from spreading out the high cost of a home purchase over a longer period. But lenders certainly benefit too by having a longer period to charge higher interest rates. Guess who's going to get rich in this little shenanigans? The lenders are going to get rich, not you. How you going to get rich when you're going to pay like 2 times more in interest than what you paid for the house? You're going to pay $1.2 million. You're going to basically pay $1.2 million for a $400,000. That's insane to me. I don't know about y'all, but that's insanity. But let's keep moving. That's insane to me. As well, after 10 years of home ownership, you'd only have 14% equity. That's all you're going to have. So you pay $400,000 for a house. You make your payments on a 50-year mortgage for 10 years. At the end of that 10 years, guess what your equity position going to be? 14%. 14%. Let's do the math on that. Let's just do the math on that. $400,000 times 14%. You're going to be done paid $56,000 of your principal loan down in 10 years on a 50-year mortgage. Guys, come on, man. That's insanity. That's insane. But let's keep moving. This product, oh, here it is. Let's go back. Let's not miss anything. As well, after 10 years of home ownership, you only have about 14% equity stake in your home with a 50-year loan. compared with 24% stake or equity if you did a 30. And then if you brought it down to 15, you'd have even more equity. So where I'm going with this is, if you're trying to use your home as an asset, that at some point you pay it off, you own it free and clear, and it's your home, it's an asset, you're better off, guys, to get the shortest mortgage you can get. 15-year, 30-year are probably the sweet spot. But this 50-year stuff, what good is it going to do you? You're not going to build it. You'll never pay it off. You'll never pay. It's going to take you 50 years to pay it off if you make regular payments. So I'm a 30-year-old person. I get into one of these 50-year mortgages. I don't do any principal reduction payments. I just make my regular payment for 50 years. I'm 80 years old before I pay this loan off. And over that 50 years on a $400,000 loan, I'm going to pay an extra $820,000 in interest to the bank. So who's getting wealthy out of this thing? Me or the bank? Who's going to get wealthy out of a 50-year mortgage? And guess what? That 50 only reduces my monthly payment by $250 a month. I'd rather just go out and get me a side hustle and make me $500 a month and just stay with the 30-year mortgage. Or even drop that thing down to 15 if I'm trying to build equity in my home so I can own it free and clear, if that's important to you. 50-year mortgage is just not the way to go, in my opinion. But I digress. Let's finish this thing up. Here's what the expert is saying. The expert is saying this: this product may also offer a way to enter the market with lower monthly payments, and in many cases provide a better long-term outcome than renting. But they would require a clear strategy to refinance or sell once the home appreciates in value. I just think that's crazy. I think that's crazy. I think it's absolutely insane that somebody would take out a 50-year mortgage to pay the bank basically 2 times more than what they paid for the house in interest. I mean, who does that? How can that be fiscally smart? And again, guys, this whole notion of, if we give people a longer term, reduce their mortgage amount, guess what's going to happen though? It's going to run prices up. See, prices go up when you have demand, guys. The more demand you have, the more prices go up. We already have an inventory shortage in this country of homes. It's already an inventory shortage. So now all of a sudden, you've created all this tidal wave of demand, and we already got a limited supply. You ain't got to be a rocket scientist to figure this one out. I don't have to be a MIT mathematician to figure this one out. I'm not sure what we were thinking here, but I don't know. You're going to drive prices up because you're going to create this artificial tidal wave of demand. So prices are going to go up. Interest rates are going to go up. The only people get wealthy in this plan is the 1%. Your banks, your lenders. Those are the only people get benefit from this. You and me don't benefit from this. How do I benefit from owning a $400,000 house that I got to pay $1.2 million for over 50 years? How does that benefit me? Do you think my house in 50 years that I paid $400,000 worth $1.3 million? I doubt it. Maybe it can if you're in the right location, but come on, guys. Not to even think about the property taxes, the property insurance, the repair and maintenance over 50 years. Think about, add all that up. It's just not the monthly payment principal and interest. No. It's principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Because remember, you're only putting 10% down. So now you got to have mortgage insurance. And they're going to want to escrow your taxes and your mortgage and your taxes. They're going to want to escrow and your insurance. They're going to want to escrow those things. I don't see how this comes together as a win-win for the ordinary American people. I don't. I can see the win-win on the bank side because they're going to make a killing. Come on, man. I give you a $400,000 loan. You give me $800,000 in interest back, plus my $400,000 that I lent you. Come on, man. Y'all, this is crazy. Okay, let me finish this thing up. Longer loan terms do not address the true cause of today's affordability challenges, which is the limited supply of homes in the low and middle price ranges. Bam, I just told y'all that. I keep telling y'all guys, I've been in this game for a long time. I'm no expert, but I done been in this game a long time, man. I bought single family properties for rental properties for over 25 years, man. I was a commercial lender specializing in commercial real estate financing for 25 years, guys. The only people win in this scenario are the banks and the lenders. You and me do not win in this scenario. We don't. How in the world can I win if I get a $400,000 loan and I got to pay somebody $820,000 in interest? How do I win? Oh, I win because I get to get in me a house that, I'd rather rent me an apartment or rent me a house somewhere. Forget that and guess who that $820,000 in interest goes to then? Me and my family. Because I'm going to invest it and build my wealth. I'm not going to give the bank. Why would I want to give the bank $820,000 to just live in a house that come on, guys, really? See, not us. I ain't got nothing to do with this. This is Trump them. They ain't got nothing to do with me. But them trying to get more people into home ownership, the way to do that is provide more affordable housing, right? Instead of doing a 50-year mortgage, forget all that crap. You're the federal government. Guess what? You control Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and Ginnie Mae. You control the three largest purchasers of residential mortgages. You control it. Go to the banks, go to the lenders and say, listen, we want a program where you charge a flat interest rate. And guess what? Go to the construction, go to your national home builders. Go to your regional home builders and give and incentivize them to build more properties at an affordable price. That's what it is. It has nothing to do with us stretching out the mortgage 50 years and keeping people in debt for 50. Listen, man, who want to be in debt in a house for 50 years? Do you really think somebody's going to give you a 6% rate for a 50-year loan? They're not. The bank is going to probably want to bump that up to 8%. At easy 8%. Do the math on 8% on $400,000. You're going to pay more than on a 50-year loan. You're going to pay way more than $800,000 in interest. It'll be close to $1 million in interest on a $400,000 house on a 50-year loan. I'm going to ask you once again, who does that benefit? The 1%. See what I'm trying to tell y'all guys, how they try to fool you though. Oh my God. Oh, he's so great. They're so great. They're going to let me get in the house. No, because if they really wanted to let you get in the house, guess what they would do? They would go ahead and fund affordable housing. The government would step in and say, okay, we're going to purchase this land. We're going to give it to the contractors for free. And then the contractors are going to build a $350,000 house on this 1,000 acres. That's what they would do. Not this 50-year. See, they want to trick you though. Oh, we want to make it more affordable. No, that's going to drive up prices. Demand drives up prices. They don't want to tell you that part. No. Demand will drive up home prices. We already have a supply issue in the low to mid price range for homes. See, the 1%ers ain't got no problem with that because they're 1%ers. They're going to get the favorable rates, the favorable terms. They're going to get all the good stuff. But folks like you and me are the ones who are going to get caught with our pants down if we're not careful. Shenanigans. There's no reason, in my opinion, for nobody to take a loan out for 50 years. Get your standard 30-year fixed rate mortgage or try to drop down to a 20-year or a 15-year. And guess what you do? Stop buying unnecessary stuff that you don't need and you'll be able to afford your monthly mortgage payment. But see, we don't want to do that. We want to go out here and get this house. We want to get the car to go with it. We want the lifestyle to go with it. And then all of a sudden we upside down. We living on more than what we make. And if the government want to step in and do something instead of trying to put people in debt for 50 years, just stupid. Instead of putting people in debt for 50 years, why don't you donate some land? Why don't you get with your national builders, your regional builders, and put together a program where you can build a $300,000 or $350,000 house and give somebody a 5% interest rate with 0 to 5% down. And then if that person stays in that home and builds that community up, maybe have a burn off or something on the loan. See, this is how problem is these properties, these for low and middle income folks, they can't afford because the prices are too high. You're trying to run the prices up even higher by creating more demand. Whoa, man, these banks, boy, I know the banks, they loving this. They're like, yeah, sign me up. Where do we sign up for this? Where do we sign up for this? That's what the banks are saying. They're like, woo, goodness gracious. Where do we sign up for this 50-year loan? Because we're going to charge y'all 8%, 8.25% all day long. That's what the banks are going to do. And then here's the crazy part about it. Then the banks don't hold these mortgages, guys, on their balance sheet. This is what the bank do. The bank originates these loans. They originate them. And guess what they do? They bundle them up. And guess who they sell them to? The federal government. Through Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and Ginnie Mae. That's where they sell them. Back to the government. And I know some of y'all gonna say, oh, those three entities are not government. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. See, banks win either way, guys, because see, the bank gonna originate the loan, and then they're gonna bundle up these mortgages and they're gonna sell them off to the government. And then guess what the bank gonna do? They're gonna retain the servicing rights. That not only are they gonna get all the fees associated with originating the loan, then they're gonna get a 1 to 1.5% fee every year to manage the portfolio for Freddie Mac, Ginnie Mae, or whatever the names of three organizations I just said. That's they're gonna hold these mortgages, guys, on their balance sheet. They sell them. They sell them back to the United States government or to other investors. And the bank keeps the servicing rights where they get paid by the new owner of those mortgages. The bank gets paid by them to service them. So I go into Bank of America, I do one of these 50-year loans. I go to Bank of America, they're like, yes, sir, come on in, let's give you one. They give me a 50-year loan, right? They turn right around when I walk out the door, along with 1,000 other mortgages, they bundle them up and they sell them. So Bank of America never gonna get hurt on this, guys. They're just gonna make money. This is how the banks work. This is how the banks with the federal government work together, guys. But you and I don't know that. We think, oh my God, this is a great deal. It's not a great deal in my opinion, guys. This is my personal opinion. Now, you go out and do whatever you want to do. You want to go get you a 50-year mortgage and pay a $400,000 mortgage and finance it for 50 years and pay back 1.2 million, go right ahead. Because that's basically what you're going to be doing. How are you going to build wealth? You're not. Your wealth is going to be given to somebody else. You can't build no wealth like that. You can't. If you want your home, man, what you got to do is you got to get out here and create you some income streams. See, a lot of us, we want to go to one income stream and then just sit around and talk about, oh, I worked so much, I need a break. No, you got to go to work. And then if you got to work a side hustle, work a side hustle, work a third job, whatever you need to do. Whatever you need to do. And maybe you don't need home ownership. I know plenty of people, guys, that are millionaires, don't own no real estate, but they're millionaires. Yeah, I know quite a few people who own no real estate, and they are bona fide millionaires. So who says you got to own a piece of real estate? You don't. But if you want to own a piece of real estate, buy it the right way, where it actually is an asset that appreciates in value. Day one, when you get into that property, it should be a positive asset, not a negative asset. I mean, literally, that house would need to be worth $1.4 million when you get ready to sell it. Matter of fact, it's probably more than that, because that's not even including property taxes, property insurance, and repair and maintenance. When you add all of that up, along with the $800 and something thousand in interest, and you're going to be so upside down in that thing, you might own it free and clear, but you ain't going to have nothing else but that house. That's it. You ain't have nothing else, because that's going to suck you dry. Just saying. Y'all drop it down in the comment box and let me know what y'all think about this this 50-year mortgage thing, man. Wow. I tell you, man, these 1%ers, boy, they know how to get y'all. They know how to manipulate us. Oh, this is good for you. Nah, it's not good for you. But drop it down in the comment box. All of this is just my personal opinion, guys. You don't listen to me. Go do whatever you want to do. It's just my personal opinion. It's my opinion that the 1% are at it again. They're doing everything they can to fleece you. They want you to think you own everything, but you own nothing. They want you to think you have everything, but you have nothing. Do not fall for this crazy idea of going out and taking a 50-year mortgage. That's only going to increase demand and run up prices of these houses, guys. And you're going to pay a higher interest rate. Sorry. Yeah, you are. All right. Appreciate y'all stopping by. If you're stopping by for the first time, please consider subscribing, share the video, smash the like button. Also, get down in the description box, click on that Moo link, check out that Moo offer. Got you some up to $1,000 in NVIDIA stock. Check it out. And then check out them wealth builders, man, where we talk about stuff like this. And again, I'm no expert here, guys. I'm just a regular guy on YouTube. I'm not an expert at anything. But what I have done over the last 30 years is build my wealth by being smart, using the right financial tools, moving in the right way, pivoting when I need to pivot, right? So all I do is just share my experiences with you guys. You go out and do whatever you want to do. But my goodness, man, you better look at the fine print before you take out that 50-year mortgage. Like I said, check them wealth builders out. Click on that second link. Come join us. Wealth builders. We'd love to have you over there. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, like I said, consider subscribing, share the video, smash the like button, all that good stuff. Thoughts become things. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.